Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is John Van Lunen, and you are listening to Treasures of the Outer Banks, the podcast that celebrates the people and places that make this beach special. This is episode 043, and I had the opportunity to sit down with Jenn Crossman, the owner of OBX Travel Concierge. Jenn helps people on the Outer Banks plan parties, dinners, weddings, and more. Jenn has lived here for over 25 years and has used her experience in the food service industry to learn the skills helpful in preparing meals, holding wine tastings, and other fun events. Jenn is a force of fun energy and is an asset to anyone looking to have a memorable experience on the Outer Banks. Let's get started. So Jenn Crossman, thanks for sitting down with me today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this. This is fun.
No problem. Wake up now.
That's it, yeah.
We'll start.
Wait, let me have another chug of this coffee.
Yeah, we'll start any second. So let's start out. How did you find yourself on the Outer Banks? How did you get to the Outer Banks?
Well, I had no idea what the Outer Banks was at all. Right. I was living in Connecticut, and a friend of mine that we were really good friends had lived down here basically in the summertime, and his family had a place down here. And I had gone to school and was just kind of traveling around, living in Colorado, and I was ready for a change. And my friend reached out to me and said, "Oh, come on down, hang out, come to the beach." So of course I was like, sweet, living out in the mountains where it's cold. I was like, I definitely want to go to the beach. So I was in Colorado at the time. And so I came down here and visited, and it was in the off season. And which back then it was pretty much October.
Crickets, yeah.
And it was like crickets. And I was like, well, this is kind of boring. So I went back to Colorado and then thought about it again after a cold winter and came down here in the summertime and fell in love. And that was it. I went back to Colorado, packed my bags, and moved my entire life to the Outer Banks. And that was it. Got married soon after. And I just fell in love with everything Outer Banks.
I tell everybody, if it gets in your blood, it's all over. It got in my blood, and that was it.
Yeah, and it took me a couple years to kind of feel that in my blood, honestly, because I was like just trying to figure out, like life in like a small little town. Sure. And I don't think that you appreciate it as much until you really are around it for a long time and you see really how it works.
Right. And
that is really what I fall in love with about the Outer Banks. It is the most magnificent small town, great people that look out for each other. So,
right. I was a little backwards in the sense that I came because I thought it was a cool place to do stuff. Like I was a windsurfer, so windsurfing and just being around the water and doing all the fun stuff. And I had no idea there was a community here.
Yeah.
And a really great community. And that's, over the last 25 years, I've just embraced that and I've loved it. So.
Yeah. Oh, so we've been here about the same amount of time. I've been here for 26 years. So that's funny.
I think so.
I love it.
And, and so everybody knows, I feel like I just keep bumping in. I used to just bump into you every couple of years. You'd be working one restaurant or another, and I'd just see
up
you.
And down the beach.
And I just see you again, see you again, see you again.
Yeah, I know, that's how it goes.
And that's how it goes.
Yeah, and then it's like history from there. And
right.
I know, well, so you see it, but the listeners do not, but I just broke my ankle, and which was no fun. But that's literally like just living in this small community. It's been amazing. Everyone's reached out to me, and I've had, food brought to me, and people just come and sit with me and hang out with me, and people reaching out that I haven't seen in years. But that is another, reason why I love it here so much, is that just what a great place that people are like, oh, we have a friend down, like someone in our community, let's help them out and reach out to them. So I really appreciate that a lot. So another just, plus of the Outer Banks living.
Good
it's
timing.
So good.
Yeah. I'll take it. So you have a business. Tell me the name of your business.
It's OBX Travel Concierge.
Okay. And then describe what you do.
Okay. So I have worked in the restaurant industry pretty much all of my life since I was about 11 years old. And working at the current restaurant I'm at right now, which is a Kill Devil Grill.
Great restaurant.
As a bartender. Great restaurant. The biggest thing I have found over the years is people are always asking me, what is there to do? What can we do? I'm here with my family. I want to go do something. So hearing that all the time, I was like, I really want to help people find things to do and help them organize and help them plan. Because I think the hardest thing for these people is they've planned this trip, it's taken a lot of time, and they get down here and they're like, I don't want to plan anymore. I want to take my time off. I'm busy working, I'm on vacation, help me figure something out. So that's where my idea started. And it's kind of morphed into a little bit of everything. So I've been in the catering world for over 20 years. I dabble in cooking, and I've started cooking for people. I've started planning their events, helping with weddings, wedding coordinating. It's kind of morphed into this amazing business of doing all sorts of just fun things. I just keep on adding to my repertoire, as they say.
Yeah.
So,
and I will say, in true Outer Banks fashion, we just adapt. We figure out what we need to do.
Absolutely.
We find the need, we fill the need, and we just go from there.
Yeah.
And you better have more than one skill set. If you have one skill set, you're dead.
You have to.
I probably have 6 skills.
Yeah, me too. Exactly. And you know what's funny is that I always kept saying, I was like, what else am I good at? And so I would kind of put it out there in the universe. I'm like, what else am I good at? What else can I do? And then things just started happening. I think it was kind of like I would just start like testing things and trying things and working with people and jumping in. And it was just kind of turning into all sorts of fun ideas, and you never know what you're going to get out of it. And it's just turned into this great adventure. And I'm really in love with what I do. And I feel really lucky to find that, what I love and my passion. So. Right.
Are you on year 2 now?
This is year 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starting year 3 next summer?
It'll be next summer. Yeah, 3, which is kind of crazy. Like, I had to think about that. I'm like, that's so fast. Time flies by. Yeah. And
is it just growing exponentially, or are you just taking it on as you can handle it?
It's pretty wild. So it's growing really fast. And I had to hit the brakes, unfortunately, just with, my ankle injury, and had to kind of just back off of a few events, which is kind of unfortunate. But it's really growing at a pace that I want it to, that I'm comfortable with. I think it was good to kind of start off small and slow. And now seeing it grow, I am getting excited because I've got a lot of people that want to come on board and help me out. And
really?
They want to join in on the fun.
Create a little team.
Yeah, create a team. So that's literally what I'm focusing on in the next year, is just really starting to grow and see what happens and see where this takes me. And hopefully I can get some people to join me that are just as imaginative and excited and happy as I am about this adventure. So.
And I used to be in the hospitality business. I called it the hospitality business because I was taking care of people on boats.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was a small market of high-end users that I was just unable to take care of.
Yeah.
Because it's a numbers game. I have a small period of time to make a bunch of money. So how can I best take care of the masses? But there is that. Are you taking care of that small percentage of people at the top end?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm actually taking on people that are happy and excited, and that have heard about my business through other people. I've had a few new people that I actually really enjoyed because they were just getting married and they had me plan their entire wedding, and it was great. But I'm definitely thinking about the jobs before I take them, because I want it to be the best, and I want it to be for people that are just excited and as happy as I am about it. So it just helps me feel driven, and it makes me excited, to work with them.
And are most people planning months in advance, or do you have the occasional person who just pops up and says, help me out?
I've actually had both. I've had both. It's kind of funny. And I appreciate the people that are like kind of last minute, because that's always been how I have been. You know what I mean?
Same.
Especially like just working in the restaurant world.
Sure.
You're able to do that because you're not that 9 to 5 and your life is kind of planned out. And so I really do like that. And I honestly work really good under pressure. And so
restaurant business.
Yeah, restaurant business again. And I love that. It's actually like exciting. It's a thrill to me to be like, oh, like we have 2 months to plan something. Who are we going to get? What are we going to do? And it is the ultimate high, I think, when you achieve it and you get through it and they're like, wow, like, look what we just did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate it all, honestly.
And when you, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to research your website and all that other stuff, but when you put yourself out there in public, what's like the first thing? Is it weddings, food, catering, or I mean, what are you really pushing first?
Honestly, it's really my number one right now is planning events for people. It's so much fun. It's what I live for. If you ask anyone in the Outer Banks, you say Jenn Crossman's name, I think it's going to be unanimous. They're all like, oh yeah, she likes to have fun. And I like to throw big parties. And I love people to get together. I love people to meet each other. And that really excites me. So I think, event planning is my number one, which, I've done events this year where it's like I did, I set up the bar for people, had their drink list done, help them pick out their wine, cooked for them, prepped for them, all sorts of things. So that's my favorite. Yeah, that's like my.
Are you still doing all this solo?
Solo stuff? Yeah, I do that too.
So you're doing all the cleanup too, probably.
Oh yeah, everything. Oh yeah, I had one event that I cooked for a family, and I think it was like 12 hours I spent there between like cooking and cleaning and prepping.
Oh my.
And but it was just so much fun. Yeah, I love
Right.
it. Yeah, I'm testing the waters. I'm seeing what I can do, and I love people's feedback. And thank God for this Outer Banks community, because they've really helped me pump up my business and put me out there. So,
Oh, really?
And
Yeah,
I love it.
Excuse me, how are they promoting you?
Word of mouth. I've had some people repost some of my website pictures,
Okay.
but a lot of word of mouth actually. And my other great, I'm lucky because I work at the restaurant, so people come in there and we start having a conversation, or they overhear me talking to someone about my business, and they're like, "Wait, what do you do? Like, I need your card. Like, I need you to." So
Right.
it's that as well.
Right.
So and that's the great thing about being in a tourist area, small town. Outer Banks love it. All kind of works side by side, and we all help each other out.
Information passes pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's your favorite thing? Is it just event planning? Is that your favorite thing to do right now?
I think that's my favorite thing. I've always loved bartending because I love being with people and feeling that excitement, and I love when people are just laughing and having a good time. And sometimes it takes some alcohol for people to do that, and they just kind of open up and have conversations with you, right? Exactly. And so I really do love that. But yeah, the event planning is exciting. It's definitely a thrill for me, for sure. I love it. I love.
Do you have a mobile bar, or do you just kind of set up wherever?
No, but there's wheels that are spinning, and there's people I've been talking to, and that's actually been one of my dreams, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I would love to do that here for weddings and for birthday parties and events, and so that's something that's on my plan for 2024. So
right.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Write that down.
We're putting that out in the universe right now. So universe, that's it. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
And what are some of the friction points that you find in your business?
I think the biggest obstacle right now that I think everyone in the Outer Banks is feeling is, just help, honestly. I've got, a lot of people that love to help me out, thank God. But the backside of it, the cooking and the prepping, we're really at a kind of a, it's a divide right now that people are moving on from the restaurant world. People aren't really cooking right now or prepping. They're moving on to different jobs. And so finding people to help me in the kitchen and prep, and it's kind of like a lost art. So, but I have, I've had a couple guys that have helped me that are absolutely incredible, but they're really busy with their full-time chefing jobs. So I think that's my biggest obstacle, honestly.
Do you reach out to some of those friends for like advice on food and taste and prep and all
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I've been really lucky. I've worked with some amazing chefs in Outer Banks. Like
that was going to be my next question. Is that I've
I've
known you for a few years, and you've been at a dozen different restaurants. You're probably an expert on all the restaurants. I won't say the word
I get around, but I get around in the restaurant world for sure. It's every place I've worked at, I have taken something from, and that's what I think is amazing. And working with Chef Wes Stepp, everyone knows him. He and
Red Sky Cafe.
Yeah, Red Sky Cafe. NC
By the way,
Coast.
I remember when that place was a sandwich shop.
Yeah.
And now it's white tablecloth.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was there in the beginning, and we had so much fun. And he was so kind and let me basically just kind of learn everything in every aspect of the restaurant, including the catering side. So he and I basically kind of sat down and talked about catering and starting this catering business, and it was amazing. And the bar managing and learning how to order liquor and wine and all these things I dabbled in before but never really had the reins. He really helped me out with that, so I give a lot of credit to him. Lynn Flowers is one of my absolute favorite people in the Outer Banks. She's a personal chef here, and she's got such a huge clientele that she's worked with for I think 15 years. She's been doing it now.
What's the name of her company?
So she is, I think she's just Lynn Flower's personal chef. I might have to look that up actually. So we might have to make a note of that. Right. But I've worked with her, and she is a huge inspiration to me as well. She is just a hard worker. Her food is beautiful. She's got clients that she uses. They come back and use her every single year. And that's a great goal to have, is that people love you so much that literally they look forward to coming back and seeing you every year and saying, oh, what are we going to make this year? What are you going to make for us? I can't wait for you to come and cook for us. Right. She's been great to me as well. There's another one, Modern Coastal Kitchen, Virginia. She's great. She brought me in and kind of showed me the ropes as well. Nice. It's
and she's right around the corner. Right?
Yeah, right around the corner. It's endless. I can keep going. Johanna Lachine, another one I've worked with over the years, and she's just an inspiration to me as well. Just people that really are just, they work really hard. They're appreciative. They're kind, and I love that. To me, that is everything to me, because that's kind of how I grew up, you know.
So the school of hard knocks, and you just ran into some really good people.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you just got to take everything from every situation that you can and find the positive and what you learn and how you grow.
Are there certain towns on the Outer Banks you find yourself leaning towards, or are you just scattered all over the place depending on where the people are?
Yeah, definitely scattered all over for sure. Yeah. I think that...
And do you sometimes just have to decline stuff because of the location?
I don't really decline because of location. I decline only because of if I've got too much going on, if I have too many events going on, and I'm, but most people will tell you that I hardly ever say no. So I would absolutely go to Ocracoke if I had to. I would go to Corova if I had to. Right. And no, I will go all over. I actually had a couple people that asked me if I wanted to go to Virginia and cook for them, which I was like, for sure, I would love to do that. I would love to come up there and help you plan. And so I'll pretty much, test the waters and go anywhere.
Right.
And as long as I have the time to do it, and I'm in. Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
How do you see it growing from here on out?
Growing. So I think this year I'm actually going to delve in and join the Outer Banks Wedding Association, which is super exciting. It's a great focus board. They've got, I don't know how many people, but probably thousands and thousands of customers from the past and people that go on their website. So it's a good way to put myself out there, and they'll help me grow. So I think that's my next big venture, is just joining the association and seeing what they have to offer, and doing some pop-ups for them at some houses and meeting new people. That's I think my focus is just kind of seeing how much I can do and how far I can grow. So.
How are you balancing this with your job at Kill Devil Grill?
Oh, it's been really good. It's been really good. Thank God. So when I decided to do this business adventure for myself, I had started already cutting down my hours working at the restaurant, because I knew, I was like, I think I can only be behind a bar but for so long. I love it so much, but I'm also thinking for just my future and when my kids are eventually gone out of the house, and I'm like, what do I really want to do? What does Jenn want to make her happy? And so I started cutting things down, and I started really focusing on this. And so it really has not gotten in the way, and thank God I've worked with some of the best staff in the Outer Banks, and they've really helped me kind of switch shifts around or taken some shifts of mine. And a lot of them have actually helped me work with me throughout this past few years. And so it really hasn't been too hard. There's been some times there's been like a little bit of a juggle, but it hasn't been too bad. So
right.
I've been really lucky.
Are you doing 7 days a week in the summertime, pretty much?
At the grill?
No.
You mean my business?
Just the business.
I have done probably 3 days a week. But full time, as far as like planning, sitting down, working on menus, working on my website, talking with people, putting it out on social media. So I think as far as, the actual like work, I haven't been completely booked that much as far as like to be able to do it 7 days a week. But that's what I'm working on to get to that point. Right. That would be
I guess just, and this is more curiosity than anything else, but could you do an event a day? Or is that just so crazy? Because they're just you'd have to plan at 6 a.m. and then
it's pretty wild.
Plan for next week's event at 6 a.m. and then get out to your daily event.
So I have done 2 events in one day, which is pretty wild. That is like, my hair stood up, and I think I was like ash gray by the end of the day. Right. And no, I think I can do a few events in a week for sure. You know, I think my max would be like probably 2 or 3, depending on the size of the event. You know, if it's a wedding, there are a lot more work, a lot more you have to put into it. Definitely a lot more for staffing. So just getting the crew together to be able to help in all the prep work is a lot. So, but I'm really comfortable with like 1 or 2 events for the week. But going to people's houses and cooking for them, I could do that. I could do that probably 5 days a week for sure.
Really?
Yeah. I love that. It's great. It's amazing to be able to feed somebody food that you've cooked with like a lot of love, and they appreciate it as much as you do. So I love that.
Are you an entertainer?
Oh, I'm an entertainer for sure. I'm definitely an entertainer. People are definitely entertained by me. I think because I am just, I'm wide open,
right.
And I have so much energy. People always say to me, like, how do you have this much energy at this age? And I'm like, I don't know. Like when I was little, my mom.
You were born that way.
I was born that way. Literally, when I was little, my mom, I would come inside and I'd be gone all day, riding my bike and playing outside. And she'd be like, you need to go outside, go run around the house 5 times, and if that's not enough, do 5 more, and then you can come back in. And that's what I did all my life because I had so much energy. Right. It was wild. So,
when I used to have a parasail boat, there's only 2 guys on the boat, captain and a mate.
Yeah.
And for some reason, finding a mate is like the hardest thing in the world. I don't know why. Yeah. You're on the water. You're in the sun. You're making good money.
Yeah. Why?
And I don't know why it was just impossible to fill that position. But I always said the best mates are a bit of an entertainer because. You know, nobody wants to just see the guy with no expression on his face strapping you in, have fun, you know, like you're going to the carnival or something. Right. They want a guy who's, you know, laughing and joking and messing with people.
Yeah,
and
absolutely,
you know, but for some reason, it's a unicorn position.
Oh, man, maybe I should add that to my repertoire. Like, I'm going to be a mate next. I mean, I love it. Like, that's why I love being behind a bar. Like, I can there's been times I've had the whole bar sing at the same time.
Oh.
I've had everyone kind of do the wave. I've had.
Are you providing music?
I mean,
are you DJing a little bit?
If you ask my friends, like they will tell you that I've stolen the mic many times from musicians. You know, after a couple shots of tequila, I'm like, it's my turn. I'm going to sing, and I love karaoke. But so I feel like that is definitely my my platform is being in front of people. And when I was little, my dream I wanted to be on Broadway,
really?
And that didn't happen, unfortunately. You know,
and here we are.
Here we are. But there's times when I pretend like I am.
Do we want to delve into anything special in 24? Or is it just more of the same, wedding industry and all that stuff?
Oh, I don't think there's anything new. I think just literally just growing and getting bigger and reaching more people, I think is really what I want to do and kind of see where that takes me. And, you know.
Is it still mostly word of mouth?
You know, I've gotten a lot on my Instagram page, a little bit through Facebook, not much through my web presence. Unfortunately, I'm not really sure if those days are kind of like, you know,
it's hard.
Getting lost.
That whole SEO stuff is just hard.
Yeah, and I think because it's like now we all look to social media, I think, for everything. You know, TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, and so to me that is it's funny that the web page is really not my outlet to reach people. Right. So I think honestly it's just the word of mouth and then people basically kind of reposting my stuff and putting it out there that I've worked with them. So and my terrible thing is that like I don't take enough pictures and post enough stuff, and I'm like, I got to get better about that. Right. I cooked for some people the other night for their Christmas dinner, and they came and picked it up, and I texted her the next day and I was like, what'd you think? How was it? And she's like, it was fantastic. And I'm like, did you take pictures? She's like, I didn't either. Dang it. Because I wanted to post about it. You know what I mean? So,
but by the way, I need a picture of you. You can send me one if you want. But,
sure.
But I always forget to take a picture of the guests on my thing.
You got to. I got you. I have lots of myself.
I'm always texting them like a week later, like, do you have a picture I can borrow? Yeah, I'm bad.
I I have plenty of myself. It'll be great. It'll be great. Sometimes I'm like, people are probably tired of seeing me and they want to see my food or whatever I'm doing. So, yeah, but no, I've got plenty. I got you. You're good. Cool. So, but no, we'll see what happens. And like I said, I'm completely open to, new adventures and seeing if people people hit me up and they say, hey, Jen, we want you to do this. I'm like, oh, cool. Let's go. Let's try it. Let's do it. Yeah. So, right. And I'm not afraid to try something new and see where it takes me, because Absolutely. I feel like that's it. Every little thing that you do can take you somewhere else, and you just never know. So, right. Yeah.
I used to say, listen to your audience. The audience will tell you what they want.
That's so true. Absolutely. Yes, that's
and
it.
And if you're not listening to your audience, you're an idiot.
Right, exactly. You have to. I agree. Yes. Because people that were hitting me up, they're like, hey, like, we want you to, plan our week's vacation. And I was like, cool. And I'm like, well, how about starting with this? And they're like, wait, you cook? Or like, wait, you do this? And they're like, great. So it did kind of evolve. But you have to listen to what people say. And I think just the best advice that I have for anyone is just putting yourself out there and not being afraid. And that's what I tell my kids. And, my daughter, she started a business of dog treats, and now she makes cakes for people. And, Beckett, and he's a disc golfer and just got his name put on these discs. And so, you just have to go for it. You just have to try things. And I think just don't ever be afraid. And if you fail, you're going to learn from that failure, and you're going to grow no matter what, sure. because it's a lesson. So yeah. That's literally my advice to everyone out there that wants to try something.
So let's put ourselves in a little Q&A. I'm just coming into town, and I find Jen at the bar.
Yeah.
Jen, what should I do? Give me something cool to do. What question do you come back with?
So I love being on the water. That's my favorite thing ever. So the first thing I'm going to tell people is like, hey, like, do you want to do a sunset cruise? You can go to Manio. Do you want to go on a pontoon boat like we talked about? Do you want to go inshore fishing, offshore fishing? Do you want to go crabbing, shrimping?
Right.
That is my favorite thing. Absolutely. I think my second thing is I love to go, where I'm from, like, you hike all the time. So I'm like, hey, do you want to go like for a walk in Nags Head Woods? Like, do you want to have like a little dinner afterwards, like sitting on the beach, doing like a little picnic on the top of Jockey's Ridge? I like to give people things to do that I think were kind of off the cusp, that are not things that they would really think about. Right. But definitely anything water oriented is my favorite. Jet skis as well, which is so much fun. Just always towards the water. That's what I Ocracoke is the biggest thing too. I'm like, hey, like, let's plan you a trip to Ocracoke, and on your way down there, you're going to stop and see the lighthouses, in Hatteras. Right. And so I think that just anything outdoorsy to me is what I really like to focus on. And then, of course, like the little mom and pop places that they can go to. And, of course, the aquarium and a day in Manio and shopping downtown. Same thing with Duck. I love it because you can walk on the boardwalk. And, of course, going up to Corral, the little villages up there.
Are you giving them any resources? Have you created any, like, digital products or anything like that they can...
No. So, really, I have just helped people just kind of plan their things to do for the week. And it's really kind of morphed into like, hey, like, I can help you with like a dinner, or packing some food to go, or I can go pick up some food for you from somewhere that does take out, and I deliver it to you, and then I fill up your cooler, and
what would you put in my picnic basket? I got to know.
Oh wow! Well, first of all, some champagne for sure.
Wow.
Or tequila, because that is my favorite. And so I'm a big cheese and crackers girl. So it would definitely have to be cheese and crackers. So of course, I gotta give a little shout out to Trio, which I just like love all their little goodies. They've got some great cheeses, great assortment of crackers.
So do you make them like a cheese board or something?
Oh yeah, I've done that before. Right. Of course, the Vine and Board up in Duck is one of my favorite places. Jenn Cassius, I love her so much. And so she makes these beautiful boards that are just, I can make a board, but hers is like a different level. Cool. And of course, while you're there, she'll let you taste some wine, some champagne, which is another great reason to go. Gotcha. So I love that. Of course, like little meats as well. And I love quiches, like a little quiche to go with you with like some crab or shrimp. Anything that's like a taste of the Outer Banks, I love. Some shrimp cocktail is really good in a picnic basket. I love making paninis. They're so good.
Right.
So yeah, anything kind of like cheesy meat, Oh, crab. I make a good crab dip. I'd make you a crab dip, actually, to take with you.
Oh.
That'd be really good. Yeah. People love that. Crab dip is good. You have it cold or warm. It doesn't matter.
All right.
It'd be really good. Yeah.
And what if it just, okay, so backing up to the Q&A, if I said, really don't want to be on the water, what else you got?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like hiking. What else you got?
Yeah, so definitely like taking a walk downtown Manio. I think that's a great one. Going to the rum distillery.
Yep,
I mean, that is literally
they're one of my podcast guys.
They are.
did an
I
episode
love
with
them so
Yep,
much.
good
They
guys.
are the best. I love it. So I've worked with them a few times down there
Cool.
and collaborated. There's actually a drink on the menu at the grill called Jenn's Juice, made with the local Killivan rum. Super fun.
They named a drink after you.
How cool is that?
Damn.
Yep, I know.
You have arrived.
I felt pretty special. It's funny, like when I see, actually I was on the tennis courts and this lady came to me and she's like, "Are you Jenn?" And I said, "Yeah," because I guess she heard me, because I'm loud. And she goes, "I go to the Kill of a Grill and I get the Jenn's Juice all the time with the local rum." I'm like, "How awesome." And so she literally was so happy to meet me. And I was
Put
like,
a face to the drink.
I was like, all my credit goes to those rum guys because their rum is so good. So that is literally, honestly, that is my number one thing I tell people that are here on vacation, is to go to the rum distillery. And
Nice.
and Matt and Scott and all the boys have been really gracious because sometimes I'll just text them and say, "Hey, I've got some people that really want to come down there and do a
Nice.
tour." And Matt's like, "Oh, hey, like if you come at 2:00 tomorrow, like I can give them a tour." Like, so they're super sweet. And so that's super fun.
I think that, and I know there's a guy who does a bus tour around here, but
Yeah, Matty Dahlia.
they should do a bus tour of the distilleries and the brew pubs.
Absolutely.
And just let's go to the place in Sanctuary Vineyards. Let's visit all the places.
I love this.
I don't know if anybody be left standing at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, they are getting the 12 bars at Christmas right now, so if people are standing after that,
Right,
that's amazing
right.
too.
But
That's
yeah,
a great idea.
check out, like it would be a great bachelor party kind of thing.
I love that.
Let's go all to the distilleries and
I think
vineyards and
I think you just hit
there you go. All
the
right.
winning ticket
I
right
want my
there.
commission.
That's a scratch out. I
Don't
got you.
forget my commission.
I absolutely will, for sure. I love that. That's such a good idea. Yeah. I like the Swelza. That their beer is fantastic. Of course, 1718 Brewery in Ocracoke. That's another place I try and get people to go to all the time. I'm like, listen, you have to plan a trip down there. And I tell them all the places to go down there. But the brewery, I think, is one of the absolute best. Corolla Village, I think, is so special.
I love Corolla Village.
Oh my gosh, it is so special. It's
So cool.
It's just so cool. There's so much to see.
Yep.
There's so many local artists up there. I just love good coffee up there. You've got the lighthouse. Then you can take another adventure and you can either rent a little, one of those like little safaris and go to see the wild horses, or you can, just rent a Jeep and you can go see it yourself.
Right.
It's amazing. I love it. It's a whole different world up there.
Yep.
And then I also just love to send people to down to like Pea Island and just walking at Pea Island.
Right.
I think it's literally one of the prettiest places on the Outer Banks. It's just so quiet and beautiful, and it's not been touched. It's just gorgeous. So there's so many things. Jockey's Ridge, again, I love sending people there. I'm like, go for a hike, go for a walk on the ridge and just sit at the top and just like look at your view. Like, how amazing is that? It's
one of my many ideas is I want to do guided hikes starting at Run Hill.
Yes.
And
love
going
Run Hill.
into Nags Head Woods.
Yep.
And there's a not to sound too creepy, but there's a small family cemetery back there.
Yep.
Where there's a former slave buried there.
What?
And exactly. It's like there's a former slave buried in Nags Head Woods.
What?
And
wow.
Just the story behind that it's a short story, but it's a very cool story. But yeah, I think people would love to just check that out. And,
they would love it. Okay.
And there's so much to see. I've done that hike myself a lot with my dogs.
Yeah.
And there's tracks. I've seen coyote back there. I've seen deer. Snakes, turtles. I mean, there's just so much cool stuff to look at besides the history of it all, too.
Absolutely. It is, yeah. I love to ride my bike back there. Yeah. I think that's great. People like to go on these haunted tours of Manio.
Yeah, right.
I think you just hit a little mark right there. See? This collaboration is working out really well. I think
That's
two
right.
worlds might have to collide.
That's right.
I love that. Another really good one too that I love to talk about with people is just going crabbing at night on the beach. I think it's so much fun. I think it's just something that
and there's a guy who has a business for that. The ghost crab.
Yes. Yep. He's what is
I heard he's
Jim.
I heard he does a really cool job.
So nice, yeah. And the kids love him. They bring buckets and shovels and flashlights.
So, see, you just brought up something, and this is something I hear and see is, what about kids? What do you just? I'm just curious about what your observations are when mom says, "I'm coming for a week. What can I do with my kids?"
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're little kids.
Well, and that is a tough one here in the Outer Banks because there really is not a lot to do for kids here.
Right.
I think that is something that we need more of, more like activities for kids. I used to tell people to go to the little pottery place and make pottery with them, especially on a rainy day. That was fun. But they don't really do that anymore. Maybe even just getting a sitter and having them just kind of take them for a day, take them out of the house, and then taking them on a little adventure, just to give the parents a break.
Right. Aquarium, maybe. The
aquarium is a great place for kids to go to. Even the Elizabethan gardens are beautiful. The kids kind of run through the gardens. I think it's beautiful. I mean, I know me as a kid, I loved to run through fields of flowers and.
Right.
And then there is the Elizabeth II, and you can go to the little museum
hiking
there.
Around Jockey's Ridge, depending on how small they are. I used to take my kids to Jockey's Ridge all the time.
Yeah, well, what we used to do is we used to get we used to have snowboards. We get them for cheap, at Walmart or Target, and we would get the silicone spray, and we would sit them on their butts. Well, my boys would stand up on them and set them down the backside of the hill,
right.
And they would love it. It'd be like sledding on sand. It was so great, and you can get a pass right there when you walk into the visitor center. But that was so much fun.
Yep.
Kids love that. And then think about this: you're wearing them out,
taking
them there, and then there's that little Soundside water. Area, that little park right there on the sound side, end of Jockey's Ridge.
Beach,
yeah,
very
people
popular.
love that. Very popular. Of course, water activities for kids too. Taking them out on the Crystal Dawn to go fishing. Take them to the piers to go fishing.
So if people don't know what a head boat is, it's a large boat. They charge you by the head, which hence the name head boat.
Yep.
And they take you out for 4 or 5 hours fishing, and they have the rods and reels, they bait, everything. And it's a great. I've taken my kids out there when they were pretty young.
Yeah.
You almost always catch fish, and it's just a fun way to get on a boat for cheap without losing your shirt. And it's definitely a good time. They go out of Pirates Cove, Oregon Inlet.
Yep.
And there's probably one down in Hatteras Island.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Sure. Yeah. Another great thing too is just taking the kids down there when the boats start to come in with their catch of the day. My kids love that. They were like, "Oh, what did they catch today?" So we would take them down there, 2:30 in the afternoon, 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And it was so fun for them just to see what these people have caught. It was so fun for them just to be like, "Wow, look at that fish! What is that?" And you're like, "Oh, that's a mahi mahi.
Yeah.
That's a."
And if you've never been to the Outer Banks to the fishing marinas. They will throw their fish on the dock.
So fun.
Right at your feet.
Yep.
And the kids can walk right up to them and poke them in the eye and all that good stuff.
Oh, they love it. Take a picture next to them, see how big they are. See, there's, we're thinking of all these little kid things. So there is kind of a lot, I guess.
There's
actually.
A few things,
Yeah. But maybe that's another idea.
Another place I'd take my kids is Oregon Inlet on the south side, on the riprap and stuff, just hiking around the sand and climbing on the rocks and just... finding stuff washed up, and I don't know. It was kind of like Jockey's Ridge. It was just
such a great idea.
Easy place to just kind of walk around and burn up some energy.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, and the kids love it too. When you drive on the beach, I mean, how many places can you go that you can actually drive on the beach?
Yeah.
I think that was one of the most fun things that I enjoyed when I first moved to Outer Banks. I'm like, wait, we're literally going on the beach right now. We're driving on the beach. How cool is that?
Yeah.
My kids loved it. We used to go down to the inlet as well. And that's where we'd spend our Sundays all day out there. And it was beautiful. And it was private and fun. And that was a blast. So, that was good memories. Thanks for sparking that one. I like that.
Just trying to get the juices going.
Lots to do.
So let's see, kind of wrapping this thing up, because I think we've nailed everything on the head. What's the name of your Instagram account?
So I am OBX Travel Concierge. So, and I'm also on Facebook as well. And I also have my website, which is obxtravelconcierge.com.
Cool.
And OBX Travel Concierge. Yep.
And how far in advance do you like people to plan?
I mean...
knowing we're all going to wait till the last minute. But what do you like?
I mean, if it's a really big event... I would love, a couple months in advance for sure.
Big event, okay.
And I'm really comfortable with 2 months in advance, to be honest with you. And I don't mind doing anything last minute.
What's a comfortable group size for you?
Ooh, well, geez, I have done, wow. I had a party for 100 we cooked for it. Wow. Of course, I had help. There was 4 of us on that event, and we bartended for it. It was a lot of work. I've kind of taken myself a little bit over the head a few times with some events that I didn't, I probably should have had an extra person or two, but we just powered through, and it turned out great. But I'm pretty comfortable with, honestly, I would go up to 200 people if I had the right crew and had enough time to get my staff together. For sure. Yeah, I'm not afraid of any amount.
And what's the average size of your events? 25 people or something?
Yeah, cooking for people. I say just if I'm cooking by myself, it's usually I'm really good with like 20, 21. After that, it gets a little bit tough, just to kind of get everything out and keep it all hot and quick. But okay. I'll do anything from 2 people to 200, I guess. Honestly.
So they can reach out to you on your website, on Instagram. You said Facebook?
Facebook as well.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So don't wait till the last minute. Get it done.
Yeah, hit me up.
Any last piece of advice before we wrap it up?
Oh, man. Honestly, my advice is just live your life to the fullest and don't let anything hold you back. And even if you fail, you literally just need to learn from that and grow. And don't be afraid to try something new. And you're never, ever too old to do anything. I mean, honestly, like I'm like just turning 46 this year. Yes, I'm putting it out there on the internet. And I started.
Single.
And I still look young. Thank you, John. You can finish that sentence. I appreciate that. And but I started my business at 45, or 44, and you're never too old or young to start a business or do something that you love, and just don't give up on it. Don't give up on your dreams. Follow your dreams and your heart, and put yourself out there, because you just never know who's going to react and what you're going to get from it. And striking up a conversation with anyone, even a stranger, you never know what you're going to get from that either.
That's true.
So and just live your best life, have fun.
Awesome.
And yeah, I love the Outer Banks, and I appreciate this. Thank you, John. This is great.
Well,
you're gonna do very well. This is so fun. I will sit down with you any day and have coffee and chat.
We'll have to have a weekly chat. We'll talk about a restaurant of the week.
Yeah, we should do that. I love that. I'm in. Yes.
All right, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Jen, thanks for your time today.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Take care.
I had so much fun sitting down with Jenn Crossman, and I appreciate her taking the time to do so. After we stopped the recording, we continued to share ideas, so don't be surprised if you hear from Jenn again in the future. Don't forget, be sure to check out my website, treasuresoftheouterbanks.com, and sign up for the weekly email so we can stay in touch. I promise I won't be annoying. Also, while you're on the website, be sure to check out the merchandise page, because I have some new t-shirt designs I think are pretty cool. Just click on an image and drill down to the full catalog. I'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode, and until that time, make it a good one.